Hello? I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. Mommy's here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Sean, please. Calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
Just help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
Doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
I don't expect you to understand or agree with the decision. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry. I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against us. The elevator will return you to the relay.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built, too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
What do you hope to find on there?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxon gave you all of the details? Good luck, Knight.
Proctor Ingram.
I'm busy right now, Knight, and you have a mission to complete for Elder Maxon. I suggest you get back to work.
Lancer Captain Kells has informed me that the Institute's on high alert, and you're to blame. Explain yourself, Knight.
The Institute is the enemy. I was simply doing my duty.
Your duty is to follow my orders to the letter, Knight.
What do we do now?
We pick up the pieces, and we move on, soldier. Fortunately, this incident doesn't change our current strategy. We have a contingency plan that's already being put into effect that should ensure completion of our special project. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. And Knight, don't disappoint me again. Dismissed.
Taking on a death claw without backup is a great way to get yourself killed. Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
He seems to feel it's pretty important.
Important is an understatement. We're pouring every resource we have into this thing. I hope it's worth it. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, Try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
My help? I don't know a thing about robot repair.
Why don't we leave the repairing to my scribes? You're going to be doing the legwork. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's gonna take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
Why is the power blowing out his CPU?
Liberty Prime has a highly complex power system. A good deal of that system was damaged when he exploded. So I'm working in the dark, trying to come up with parts on my own. What we need is a robotics expert, and there's someone in Diamond City that fits the bill. Her name's Professor Skara. Locals say she's a wizard when it comes to fixing robots. Why don't you head over there and see if you can talk her into helping us? Oh, and take this with you. Once she sees one of those cerebro-fusion adapters, I'm pretty sure she'll have a tough time saying no. In the meantime, I'll prep Prime's CPU and we'll see if we can't get the big guy moving.
Got a favor to...
I've made my choice. The Institute is now our enemy.
I always knew that day was coming. The question now is, what are we gonna do about it?
I say we attack. Take the fight to the Institute.
I'm all for that, but we don't have any way to hit them yet. You should give Sturgis that holotape with the Institute data on it. With any luck, he can use it to find some way in. In the meantime, we can focus on building up our strength while Sturgis is working his end. No half measures. This time, when we attack, we finish the job, once and for all. I've got something for you to do right now, actually. Remember, every settlement we help is one step closer to the day when we can take on the Institute.
Excuse me.
Apparently the castle's been trying to get you on the radio. Some kind of situation over there. Better go see what's going on. I've still got something I want to tell you, if you've got a minute.
Sure, go ahead.
When we first met, I admit, I had my doubts about you, but you've done nothing but impress me. You're just who the Minutemen needed to bring us back from the brink.
Why do you care so much what happens to the Minutemen?
When I was a kid, the Minutemen were my heroes. They were the only good guys around, really. When I turned 17, I joined up with Ezra Hollis's company. He was one of the good ones. Really believed in the old-time Minuteman way. We had a few good years there. I felt like I was part of something bigger than me. Like I was really helping make the Commonwealth a better place.
It sounds like you were really making a difference.
I think we were. I know we were. But obviously it didn't last. I'm sure there was a lot I didn't see or know enough to pay attention to. You know, the politics and rivalries and bad blood between the different groups. I guess General Becker was able to keep a lid on it. Keep everyone more or less on the same team. But after he was killed, it all came out in the open. I couldn't believe it at first. These guys were supposed to be Minutemen. They were supposed to put their duty to the people ahead of everything else. You probably think I was pretty naive, huh? I guess I was. Still am, too. Even after everything, I still believe that the Minutemen can be what I always thought they were. The good guys.
We are the good guys.
We're doing our best. And a lot of it has to do with your example. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, thanks. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to listen.
Anytime, Preston.
Thanks. We'd probably better get back to it.
Hey.
Is there something you need?
I want to trade a few things.
Sure thing. Just let me know if there's anything else you need.
Come with me. I need your help.
Sure thing, General. I think the folks here can manage on their own now. Thanks to you. thought I'd see our flag flying over the castle again. Hey, the whole castle is starting to shape up, right?
Ah, there you are. Finally. I've been waiting to talk to you.
Here I am. What did you need?
I'm Ronnie Shaw, Commonwealth Minutemen. At least I was. Back before Joe Becker got himself killed and the idiots took over.
Glad to meet you. We could use some more veterans around here.
Ah, well, you're right about that. I feel like some of these you've got still may need their diapers changed.
I'd still like to hear what you came to talk to me about.
Heard you were trying to get the Minutemen back on their feet. Thought I'd come see the new general for myself. So what's your story? What makes you think anybody even wants the Minutemen back?
The Minutemen are the good guys again. People are starting to realize that.
I've heard some good things. Wouldn't be here otherwise. Now that I'm here, I can see you really need my help.
We can always use more experienced soldiers.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But I had something more specific in mind. I'm probably the only one who still remembers this. But the castle's armory was located in the West Bastion. All of our best equipment was stored in there. Weapons, ammo, schematics, you name it. Come on, I'll show you. Good. Looks like it might still be intact. Door's still sealed. Bastion hasn't collapsed. Trick now is finding a way in.
I hope you have an idea.
Of course I do. If you can't go through, go around. Let's have a look at the Northeast Bastion.
"9 a.m. here at Radio Freedom. This was just delivered. My robot. Anybody in the vicinity of Grey Garden, please go see what they need there."
This was the General's quarters. Used to be a tunnel leading from here to the armory. The tunnel's blocked by this rubble. We'll have to find some way to clear it.
This is Radio Freedom. Just got a message. Finch Farm is asking for help. Any Minutemen in the area, please respond. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates. Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
We better watch our step.
Aren't gonna need that anymore.
know this password. One if by land. Nah, that's not it. For the Commonwealth. Ah, darn it. Oh, it's been a long time. United we stand. Yeah, that was it. Excellent. The armory's still intact. Everything we need. Just waiting for us. And the cream of the crop. Schematics for building artillery.
I have to admit, Ronnie, having artillery would help out quite a bit.
Oh, we used to rain down fire on Deathclaws and super mutants alike. It was a glorious thing. All right, let's get going. Don't forget to grab some smoke grenades, too. Looks like you've got everything we need. As soon as you get some artillery built, we'll do a test fire to calibrate it.
It's in pretty good shape, considering. I
You're
hope you're
tuned
finding
to
the
Radio
broadcast.
Freedom, the voice of the Minutemen. It's 12 noon. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Just looking to trade a little.
Sure.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here
Hey.
for updates.
But what are you waiting for? Get that artillery set up.
Let's trade some things.
Go ahead. disrepair. Hey, let me ask you something.
Sure, ask away.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Doesn't really matter. I'm here now. I've just got to deal with that.
Good attitude to have. Not the way I felt. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Massacre of the CPG? What's that?
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
Why'd they let you in?
Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter, a gal of about 15, pride and joy of the mayor back then, a man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
Was it hard, settling in?
Yeah, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving? world it'd be if folks just listened to the wisdom of the past.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Hey there.
Ah, gosh darn, it's good to see artillery here again. So here's the thing about the big guns. They can't fire at anything too close, but their range is impressive. That's what the smoke grenades are for. Toss one of those at the bad guys.
Useful?
If we have artillery in range, we'll confirm over the radio and target our fire on your smoke. But first, we better do a test fire. Make sure we're hitting what we're aiming at. You see that little building over there? We'll use that for our aiming point. Keep your radio on and tuned to Radio Freedom so we can confirm we're ready.
Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
All right, General, if you can hear me, we're ready. Toss one of those smoke grenades into the target area and we'll start the test fire. there's smoke on the target. You might want to stand back. Yeah, you know, just in case.
Different world it would be. Just listen to the wisdom of the past.
That looked good from here. You've now got artillery support. Use it wisely, General.
I gotta hand it to you, General. You've really turned things around for the Minutemen. I never thought I'd see the day that the Minutemen had artillery support again. We should see about building them at all our settlements to expand our coverage. And Ronnie Shaw returns. She's something else, isn't she?
What do you think of her?
People like her. She comes across pretty hard-ass. But she's one of the good ones. I'd heard stories about her from the old-timers, but I didn't know she was still around. The fact that she's come back to the Minutemen means we must be doing something right. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause. Excuse me, General. Do you have a minute?
Anytime, Preston.
Look, I know I put you in an almost impossible position when I asked you to lead the Minutemen. I didn't have any right to ask you to take that on. I guess I was kind of desperate at that point. I still don't know why you said yes. If it was for me, or for the Commonwealth, or for some other reason. It doesn't really matter. I just want you to know that I appreciate what you've done. If you look at where we were then, to where we are now, I can hardly believe it.
4 o'clock. You're tuned to Minuteman
Thanks for the
Radio.
vote of confidence.
Nothing
It's good to hear.
report. Stay safe out
Especially
there,
from
everyone.
you.
We make a good team, General. No doubt about that. I've taken up enough of your time. We'd better get back to it.
When I get off duty, that Salisbury steak is mine.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram. Do you remember that holotape of Institute data I gave you? I really need it back.
I'd appreciate knowing why you want me to hand over highly sensitive data first.
What's the difference? I assume you got everything you needed from it.
Yeah, I guess you have a point. Here's the original.
Stay safe.
Already made myself a copy.
Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone. tuned to Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Stay safe, people.
Welcome to Grey Garden, darling. This is the Commonwealth's first and only hydroponics facility run entirely by robots. That's pretty ingenious. I bet you can work around the clock.
Never seen anything like this.
Of course, darling. Our unique hierarchy allows for constant operation. You see, there are two kinds of robots here. The worker drones carry out labor and maintenance. We supervisors, that is myself, Green and Brown, possess sophisticated cognition processors. We are capable of complex analysis and decision-making, a testament to the genius of our creator, Dr. Edward Gray. Obviously, the man was brilliant to come up with something like this. I could hardly have said it better myself, darling. Robotics and artificial intelligence were our creator's great passions, rivaled only by his love of television. Perhaps you've noticed that I possess a rather singular personality, as do the other supervisors.
This took a weird turn.
Well, it's definitely unique. Sort of hard to miss. I'll take that as a compliment, darling. After all, the last thing any woman wants to be is ordinary. A few other things you should know. Talk to Green if you need supplies. If it's caps you require, Brown might have a few odd jobs. There's one other thing. A question, really. Tell me, darling, what do you think of the water around here? Seems fine to me. Surely you aren't serious, dear. Why, it'll melt that makeup right off your adequate little face. Pressure's down, radiation is up. Why, it's practically toxic. Just think what it must be doing to my skin. This will never do. I don't mean to impose, darling, but perhaps you could lend us a hand. Just tell me what you need done. Most of our water comes from the old Weston plant, south of here. Such an eyesore. Be a dear and pay a visit, See what you can do. Maybe tidy up the place. It must be filthy. If you can get it working again, I'm sure I can come up with something for you.
hate to say it, but it's too quiet.
No way I can pick this. Sweet.
Going down. Lower level.
Supervisor White.
Darling, so good to see you. You fixed our water problem, didn't you?
That's right.
That's marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous. Here, you can have some of our produce. I'll ask Greenie to give you a discount, too, if there's anything else you need. Now I simply must get back to work. Ta-ta!
Oh, sorry. Thought you might be one of those forged maniacs, but you don't have the burns. A group of them took over the old ironworks, and they'll shoot you just as soon as look at you.
I'm with the Minutemen. Tell me what happened, and maybe I can help.
Well, I'll be jiggered. Didn't really expect anybody to come. That bastard son of mine, Jake, snuck out in the middle of the night to join him. He grabbed my granddad's old sword. It's the closest thing I've got to an heirloom. If you really are with the Minutemen, and you want to help, well, it would mean a lot to me if you could get that sword back.
I'll find it.
You're doing me a big favor, and I'll make it up to you as best as I can.
What's up, motherfucker? Have a big... I need some goddamn fire support! Nothing to worry about. Time, asshole!
Alright, that's over.
Tries to leave,
we're gonna
kill her. You must be pretty strong to make it here.
It was easy.
Most of them were never gonna be worth forging in the first place. See, Jake? Here's someone who might actually be worth my time. Unlike you.
They're gonna kill me.
But I brought everything you asked for.
Stealing things from your family farm doesn't prove your strength, boy. Though this wonderful sword you brought does put me in the mood to give you one last chance to prove your worth. What do you say? Kill that prisoner and prove that you aren't completely useless.
You said we'd be raiding outside the Commonwealth. These people aren't even a threat to us.
Prove to me that you can kill! It's him or you.
Oh God, what do I do? What do I do?
What about your family?
Please, let me go.
Is this what Abraham would want you to do?
What's it gonna be, Jake?
I thought he hated me. Did he send you here to find me?
What happened between you two?
I don't know. I can't ever manage to live up to his expectations.
You don't need them. They make you weak.
Did he really send you here to find me?
You need to decide, Jake. What's it gonna be?
Dad was right. I don't want to join the Forged. I just want to go home.
Last chance, Jake. If you don't kill the prisoner before I count to 3...
Thanks a lot. I'm getting out of here.
Wait. Wait, I'm sorry. I messed up. I panicked.
Always happy to help.
I don't know what I was thinking trying to join them. Look, I should probably try to go home and make amends. I know I've got no right to ask, but I bet if you're there to explain, things with my dad would go easier. I bet if you bring my great-granddad's sword, he'll make it worth your while. He always tries to deal fair with people. I'll wait for you by the overpass near the farm.
I got something over here. I've lost visual contact. For the Commonwealth! This is gonna be fun!
Girl, you picked the wrong fight.
Okay? Wait, something's out there. Get out.
What the? Boy, I told you that if
Abraham,
you ever
what's
showed your
going
face
on?
here again,
Is that my boy come home?
What? Jake's back? Oh, thank God.
Papa, please. I know I screwed up pretty big. I thought if I joined up, I could keep them from raiding our farm. I didn't. I don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't care what you thought. I told you.
Abraham Francis Finch, that's enough.
Mama,
Shut up, Jake. If I hear anything out of either of you, you'll both be peeling potatoes for the next year. I've watched you two go at it for years and tried to let you sort it out for yourselves. Abraham, your son is a grown man. And if you expect him to act like one, then you'd better stop treating him like a child. Jake, your father and I have been out there, and we know it can be dangerous. We just want to make sure you're prepared. There. It's over. And if I hear another word about it from either of you, so help me.
She's right. I've been a fool. There's no way.
I got some goods I can sell
Get
you.
some ears of corn and bring him here.
Abraham.
She's right. I've been a fool. There's no way I can thank you enough. Here's the caps we agreed on, plus a bit for helping my boy. I think you should hang on to that sword. It'd put a smile on Granddad's face to know it was being used to help people.
Preston Clark, Commonwealth Minutemen.
The Minutemen are always welcome.
Thanks for your support, Fred. You can count on the Minutemen to be there to help when you need it.
Sure thing. Well, I better get back to it.
Take care.
I'll do whatever it...
You willing to do some work?
I'd be glad to help. Just tell me what you need.
Well, for starters, we could use some real beds. We've been sleeping on the ground for too long. Just make sure we can sleep with a roof over our heads. Some of these old houses still look solid enough to do the trick. There's a workbench over there you can use. Give me a holler if you need anything.
Here's a holotape I happen to have. Full scan of the Institute network.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
We need a way to bring the fight to them.
Let's hope we got something we can use. Well, they sure aren't gonna fall for that teleport hijacker trick twice. Even if it wasn't a smoking pile of scrap metal. All the good stuff on here is gonna be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
I know I'm not the only person here who's lost someone. I miss him so much.
I like it. Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's spirits. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great. Thanks again.
Yeah?
Mayor McDonough has always been against the Minutemen. I never quite understood why.
Self-prescribed chem. Got everything you could need. Med-X.
I'll take a look. Sure.
Self-served.
Diamond City Surplus. Everything you need. You again. All right. Got plenty of supplies.
Let's see what you have.
Every...
Why buy just an ordinary piece of
If you're
wood?
looking to keep your load light, we can shoot the breeze about the old-fashioned pistol or anything else you need.
Let's see what you got.
Feel free to test the grips.
With some cams. Don't dally. If you're here to be examined, let's get you examined.
Yeah.
Go over your symptoms.
Just...
Scrape symptoms. All done. Any other complaints?
That was it.
All right.
Hey, Doc.
Radiation poisoning is a common ailment, but we can cure just about anything.
I need some supplies.
I suppose I could...
I don't know why we let Valentine live in the city. He saves 1 or 2 people, and everyone forgets he's a freaking saint.
Sorry to let you down, but I'm afraid I'm not in the mood to teach biology lessons today.
Well, if something's wrong, maybe I can help.
It's my colleague, Professor Skara. Her normal field expeditions never last more than a few days, but it's been over a week now. I'm afraid something terrible has happened to her.
That doesn't sound good. We'd better go find her.
Don't worry, I'll find her.
Oh, that would be wonderful. The last place Professor Skara said she was going is the General Atomics Galleria. I'll mark it on your mapping device. There. Look, if you find her, could you tell her to come home?
General Atomics Galleria remains closed by order of the Director.
Hey.
I'm listening. What's this? The king of the robots? Bad news. The Institute has been scouting the castle. Looks like they're getting ready for a major attack. If they can knock out the castle, it could set us back to square one. We can't let that happen again. I've sent word for all available Minutemen to rally at the castle. We've got to win this one.
The Director has sanctioned the use of lethal force against looters. Do you have any other questions? Any deviation from standard operating procedures must be authorized by the Director.
Bowling, huh? You know how to play?
Professor.
Excuse me, but this is a private research site. If you're here to study these robots, I'll have to insist you relocate to somewhere else.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Oh, well, that puts an entirely different spin on everything, doesn't it? My name's Professor Skara, and in answer to what I expect to be your next question, Professor is my first name, not my title. The whole thing's rather complicated. Perhaps I'll explain it to you sometime.
Professor, meet the General.
So, now that I've formally introduced myself, perhaps you'd care to tell me why you're here.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to ask for your help.
How very interesting. I wasn't aware that you people ever asked for anything. While I'm flattered that the Brotherhood of Steel would find me useful, I can't help but be wary of your methods and motivations. Perhaps if you were more specific, we could come to some kind of a mutual understanding.
We need your expertise to get Liberty Prime back online.
Liberty Prime? Where have I heard that before? Oh, yes. I believe it's some kind of an enormous robot. Intriguing as it sounds, I'm afraid my work at General Atomics isn't complete. Perhaps you could come back another time.
Maybe this will change your mind?
Intriguing. So, your technicians must use these to calibrate Liberty Prime's internal power system. It's quite an ingenious little device. but it could use some work. All right, you've got a deal. I'll wrap up my collecting trip and meet you at your headquarters. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a few loose ends to tie up before I leave.
Behavior to the director immediately!
Glad you made it in time, General. I guess we're about to find out if these new Minutemen really have what it takes. We've seen a lot of those Institute crow things sniffing around. Looks like they're getting ready to try to take us out. We've called in volunteers, so we aren't short of people. We'll see how these greenhorns do in a real battle. But our defenses could use some beefing up before it's too late.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. Attention, Minutemen. We've just gotten word that a settlement is in trouble. Anyone within range, please respond. Attention, Minutemen. News has come to us of a settlement that needs our help. If you are in the area, please respond. Radio Freedom. Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
Sure thing.
Radio Freedom with a breaking report from the castle. Institute synths are moving on our position. This is not a drill. All available Minutemen in the area, please move in to reinforce. We have a swarm of attackers approaching from South Boston.
Combat initiated.
The Institute will think twice before tangling with the Minutemen again. I hear you're working on figuring out how to hit back at those rats. hope you find a way, and soon. I'd like another crack at them, with the shoe on the other foot this time. I think Preston wanted to talk to you. Maybe he has some good news.
Hey.
What is it?
Hey.
Just point me to it.
It's time for us to strike back against the Institute.
I have some good news for you. Sturgis found a way into the Institute. We can launch an attack whenever you say the word.
Good. I'll get the details from Sturgis while you get the Minutemen ready to attack.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen. Up, kiddies. The Institute got...
Might want to have Knight Captain Cade take a look at that injury.
Attention. Halbert pilot to Station Epsilon. Halbert pilot report to Station Epsilon. That is all.
Make it quick. We have a lot of ground to cover. I think you should stay on point. Your instincts seem to be right on target.
The Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up before you head out.
Don't let Maxon's age fool you. He's a brilliant tactician.
Excuse
and
me, Proctor
an
Tegan.
experienced soldier.
Proctor Tegan.
Unless you like getting radiation sickness, I'd stay away from ferals. Greetings, Knight. I really should have my armor adjusted while I'm here.
Charging into a situation guns blazing is a good way to get yourself killed.